Hey kids, it's JJ again. Happy Saturday morning. I've got a cool one for you today. Sorry about the mess, but I live here. I have another motor review. I've been pretty fired up. T-Motor, as we all know, is a great motor, and I've really been hung up on the Cobras too. And I have some budget Cobras coming in probably Monday that I'm going to review as well. But these, wham, check that out. AIR200 multi-rotor driving equipment set. That's cool. Yeah, interesting. So what these are the AIR200 2650 kV 3 to 4S motors. But check out that box. That's pretty cool. Most of these places, you know, if they just put them in little Ziploc bags, they could probably charge 10 bucks a motor. But either way, let's get into it and see what they look like. Dun, 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 dun. Wow, pretty. Get rid of that. Propellers, interesting. Let's take this out. Pretty. Okay. Looks pretty badass. I like it so far. Very nice. Real wires. If you remember the T-Motors that I did, the AIR40s, I put on the Hellbender, they had funky wires. You know, there were the windings basically coming straight out, which kind of bugged me. They're good motors. They rip like a mother, but I didn't like that bit. Very light. These have the fly mount bracket like that. Totally open underneath, which is good and bad. Good for ventilation and weight. Bad for crashing. Obviously, if you get a bunch of shit in the bottom. Look at the clearance on the magnets versus stator. Very tight. Feel unbelievably smooth. AIR2205 FPV 2650s. They look great. Hollow shafts. Let's see what they weigh. My new scale that everyone can see. Bam. All right. 25 grams on the dot. That's without the nut, but that's okay. So yeah, we're going to try these pigs out. I think I'm going to upgrade my other frog. This frog's just racing, what are these things? Racer Star 2600s, which were my go-to generic motors, which these motors, guys, and you hear me say this a lot, for the money, $850, these things are killer. One thing I do recommend if you do buy Racer Star motors, get the steel shaft, not the aluminum. I think they're called the Racing Series, if I'm not mistaken, but notice these are the aluminum shaft. The steel shaft are much more endurant. I have bent shafts on the Racer Star motors before on these, and they say that the steel shaft ones are much, much better. So bear that in mind. I think they're like $1 more. Go for the steel shafts. But as far as overheating and just handling on a 4S, these things fly. They fly really, really well. So, but I think we're going to take those off, and we're going to slap these new guys on there. Let's see if there's anything else in this box here. Hope it came with nuts. Yeah, there's the nuts. All right. There's nuts. There's motor mounting hardware. Nothing to get too excited about. 4 pretty motors. And propellers. Okay, let's see what this is about. Yeah, don't think so. Okay, so there they are, and we're going to slap these piggies in, and hopefully I don't have to extend the wires. Looks like I do. Son of a bitch. Anyhow, that's okay. Maybe I'll put them in something else, because I'm feeling too lazy for that today, but we'll find out. Nice little box, if that's your flavor. I'm also going to upgrade this. I got another, just to clear something up, the DYS. This is from Get FPV. And this is they call it the poker face. I don't know why, but this is the same thing as a normal DYS F4 Pro, and I'll be putting that in too. So either way, give me 30 seconds. I'll pop these motors in. Bye. Hey kids, bam! It's been 30 seconds. Done. I had a change of heart. I told you I was probably going to upgrade with these motors on the, the Frog. And I decided to go with my other Hellbender for various reasons. And I could not be happier with this build. Check this out. Now this is a Hellbender V1 frame from RMRC. The V2 frame, where is it? Let me see. There it is. This is the V2, which is the newer version of the Hellbender. This is the one I put the other T motors on. And notice the frame. It looks like kind of a normal frame. I mean, shape's a little goofy, but there's no holes in it. Look at the version 1. That's some crazy shit. Now, the reason the version 1 is kind of a pig is why they made a version 2 is look at all the holes. Structurally, you have a lot of weakness in this frame. And I built a Hellbender V1 a while back. It was one of the first really good builds I ever did, and I destroyed the frame eventually. But something to note, and I'll put a link in the description to this frame, the Hellbender frame and the Gobi frame, which is what I put the gold Cobras on a while back, these RMRC frames have a lifetime warranty. So if you do break the base plate or the top plate, you send them a picture, bam, they send you a new one, which is really, really cool, guys. RMRC is actually based in Ohio. They're only about 2 hours from me. So that's kind of cool. But anyway, getting back to the point, I ended up putting that DYS F4 Pro in here. And I also put on these slick-ass new AIR200 T motors on here. I now call this the Hellraiser. Instead of Hellbender, that's my battery charger finishing. Look at that. I feel like I forgot to put something in it. Basically, what this has got in it, it's got a 30 amp Racer Star all-in-one ESC in here. And at the very bottom, you can't see it, but right there is my ESC. Below the ESC, believe it or not, is my receiver. So I've got the receiver, the ESC, the all-in-one DYS F4 Pro flight controller, and then my VTX is just mounted at the top. 1000 TVL camera, which is like an Eachine type of thing, and a 600 milliwatt transmitter with one of my FarView handmade antennas on it. And oh my god, this might be my favorite quad, and I've got some pretty nice gear. On the scale that everybody can see, check this out. This is insane. All up, no battery, battery strap, props, whole nine. That is 282. Are you kidding me right now? I mean, that's like an engine pushing an engine. I mean, that is just bad to the bone. I mean, Joshua Bardwell's dick almost weighs this much. I mean, that is 281. Bam, look at that. That is an awesome thing. So, I did do, it's pitch dark outside right now, so I can't do a pop test for you in a recording. I'm going to try to get this guy out tomorrow, and this guy that I did the green Cobras on, I did a video on that earlier. I'm going to try to get these both out for a maiden tomorrow, and give you the footage. But I did some pop tests in the driveway when I first got this thing done, and oh my lord, these things are just like balls on fire, man. They're way above my skill set, this whole quad. It is so flippin' light. There's nothing to it. I'll probably destroy it because it is fragile. But RMRC, the Hellbender, badass frame. If you live in the States, I mean, even if you don't live in the States, you can still order one, but the shipping will cost you. But these frames are badass. They're cool. I wanted to slam it. And what I mean by that, in the ghetto world, when we call something slamming, you know, basically cutting these down and lowering the top. Because look at all the room I got in that thing, man. I mean, that's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway. But because I have the custom, well, it's not custom, but the aluminum camera holder on here, it just makes it very hard to do. So I didn't fuck around with that. But these motors are just so freaking smooth. You know, I installed them, I put them on beta flight, hooked it up to my computer, and, you know, went into BL Heli to make sure that the directions were correct, and they were just spinning on my desk like silk, man. I mean, just badass. So I'm very pumped to see how this goes. And then, like I said, I did fly it around. I did some pop tests in the driveway, this, that, whatever, and it's just like, bam, dude, out of sight. I'll put a link in the description to the motors and also the frame, because I think a lot of people might be interested in this frame. RMRC, I try to support local guys, local meaning United States. I buy a ton of shit off of Banggood. I'm not going to lie to you. I love Banggood. They've got some great stuff. I'm not sponsored in any way, shape, or form, but I spend a lot of money at Banggood. And I think they're great for what they are. I'm trying to get more into the real deal flight FCs and everything else, and just buying from the States if I can. I think that's an important thing. But I also buy from Banggood, because I think that's an important thing. Global economy, kids. So anyway, I will try to get some flight video up for this thing. But dude, seriously, I mean, that is like, that's just shaved. You know what I mean? That is just bad to the bone. So until next time, kids, subscribe, and I will try to get a flight video of this and the Green Cobra jobby up. So till then, have a good night. It's Saturday night. Everybody drink. Have a good time. Take care.